of the Damodar Leela. So I believe that everyone here, and of course others still coming, they have over the last month, in the month of Kartik, performed the Damodar Leela in 80 homes. Yeah? So that's quite a remarkable achievement. In other words, we can say that all those persons in those 80 homes and all the people that come to those programs are learning how to enter into the eternal pastime of the Lord. Because this Damodar Leela is a very special pastime of the Lord. Now, it's very special because if you go to the spiritual world, you'll not find the Damodar Leela, because the Lord performs this eternal pastime in this material world. So he personally comes to the material world and performs these childhood pastimes. And these pastimes are actually eternal pastimes. They're eternally manifest. If you go to Vaikuntha Loka, so if you go back to Godhead, you will not see Damodar Leela. So this Damodar Leela is a special manifestation, eternal manifestation, eternal pastime. It's the Supreme Lord. He is appearing in this eternal Leela, but it is a special facility that he performs for his devotees in the material world. So, this Damodar Leela, there are many persons in this world who want to go back to the spiritual world. They want to go back and live eternally with God. So, the Lord knows that amongst those sincere people, that He says, if you want to come back to the spiritual world, if you have a desire to go back to the spiritual world, more or less for the sake of being liberated, just more or less just to get out of the suffering of material existence, then yes, come back to Vaikuntha. But if you want to come back to the spiritual world and intimately associate with the Supreme Lord in a very confidential relationship, then for those people, I'm giving you the message that you can do that. Through this Damodar Leela, Krishna shows us that there's more to just getting out of the material world and attaining liberation in Vaikuntha. And so he performs this pastime in order to say that actually there's a special part of the spiritual world, which is considered the topmost part, where the devotees have, they're not even interested in liberation. They're only interested in associating with the Supreme Lord in very confidential, very sweet, unlimitedly blissful, eternal pastimes, loving pastimes. So he's saying that you may not be aware of that, and therefore I'm going to demonstrate, in a way that you can understand. So because, therefore, he appears in the childhood pastimes, the Damodar form, the little baby Krishna, and invokes that natural tendency of intimate, loving, confidential relationships that one can actually have with the Supreme Lord. And in this way, he's showing us that you can try to go back to the spiritual world by becoming a great yogi and performing austerities in the caves of the Himalayas in complete solitude or practicing celibacy. You can try to go back to the spiritual world by studying all the Vedic literatures and trying to understand the difference between matter and spirit, and ultimately coming to realize the super soul and meditate upon the super soul. Or you can let me, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, just appear before you as a little child, and you can just enjoy my childhood pastimes, and in this way, in a very blissful, in a very natural way, you can fix your mind upon God. So in other words, the yogis, they go to the Himalayas and they try to withdraw the senses and the mind from material things and try to, in a very difficult way, try to fix the mind in meditation upon God within the heart. That same Lord who's within the heart says there's an easier way. I can just crawl around the courtyard of Nanda and Yasoda, my eternal associates, and because I am the Supreme Lord, those childhood pastimes, they're so attractive that they'll automatically take your mind away from everything material in a very natural way. So therefore, this is a very special pastime of Lord Damodar to show us, don't take the difficult path, take the easy path of love. And if you want that, the Lord will appear before you in a way that naturally invokes your love. And if one becomes attracted to that Damodar Leela, then one can begin to understand these eternal pastimes that are eternally going on in the Lord of Vrindavan, where Krishna displays the full realm of the varieties of relationships that one can have in a very confidential and intimate way with the Supreme Person. So, generally, this aspect of the nature of the Lord is not understood. So the fact that in 80 homes, you've been able to fill those houses up to the brim, up to the ceiling, with people who are beginning to understand this very confidential, pastime of the Lord, that is, quite extraordinary, actually. Very extraordinary. And you're giving everyone the most wonderful opportunity, not just to become a yogi who can fix their mind upon the Lord in the heart, but to actually enter into eternal loving relationship with the Lord. So for that reason, we are performing this celebratory Mahajagya to conclude what you have actually done. My part is very small, actually. What you have done is quite extraordinary. So without further ado, we're going to have some kirtan, and I will begin the Jagya, and then after the Jagya, at about 5 o'clock, and we will speak further.
Hare